Grandma, what's that smell? Sylvie, 72, was visiting her daughter's house when her 8-year-old granddaughter Juniper wrinkled her nose and asked that innocent but gut-wrenching question. Sylvie froze. She showered daily, wore fresh clothes, and even spritzed on her favorite perfume. But in that moment, she felt a sinking feeling she couldn't ignore. Was it my clothes, my house, or was it me? What she discovered next shocked her, because 99% of people don't realize this odor has a specific cause. And more importantly, it's completely preventable. There's one overlooked spot that's the real culprit, and a simple way to stay fresh. Let me show you. If you want more practical aging advice, tap that like button and subscribe. Have you ever noticed a change in how your skin or clothes smell as you age? Comment yes or no below. That night, Sylvie couldn't shake the thought. She'd always prided herself on being clean, well-groomed and put together. But now, there was a question hanging over her, one that made her second-guess everything. Had other people noticed the smell before Juniper? Her daughter, friends? Had they just been too polite to say anything? She stood in front of the bathroom mirror, retracing her routine. She showered daily, used scented soap, applied deodorant, changed her clothes. So why would she have an odor? Desperate for answers, Sylvie turned to the internet, and what she found made her heart sink. Aging body odor is real? Page after page described something she had never heard of before: non-inal. The more she read, the more concerned she became, but she needed real confirmation. The next morning, she called her doctor. When she mentioned what she had learned, he didn't sound surprised at all. "Sylvie, this isn't about hygiene, it's about biology. What's really happening?" Her doctor explained that as people age, their skin chemistry changes in ways they don't notice right away. Oil production slows down. When she was younger, her skin naturally secreted oils that helped cleanse it. Now, her skin was drier, meaning dead skin cells and other compounds sat on the surface longer. Oxidative stress increases. Over time, natural processes in the body break down fatty acids in the skin. This process releases a compound called non-enal, a substance with a subtle but distinct musty or greasy scent. The problem? Non-enal doesn't dissolve in water. Unlike sweat or bacteria, which rinse off with soap and water, non-enal clings to the skin's surface. That meant all the scrubbing she had been doing in the usual places, her underarms, feet, hands, wasn't actually addressing the real issue. Sylvie was shocked. If this was so common, why had no one ever talked about it? Then she thought about it. People don't want to admit they smell different as they age. Society ties body odor to poor hygiene, and no one wants to believe they have an issue that a shower won't fix. But here was the truth. Regular soap and water don't fully remove non-enal. Perfumes and deodorants only cover it up. The moment sweat mixes with it, the odor returns. It builds up over time. If not addressed, it settles into clothing, bedding, and even furniture. No wonder Juniper noticed it. It wasn't just Sylvie's skin, it was lingering in her environment. Her doctor gave her one last piece of information that stuck with her. 99% of seniors don't realize this is happening to them. The odor isn't always strong, but it's distinct. And those who are around you daily, family members, caregivers, probably notice it more than you think. Sylvie's heart sank. Had her daughter noticed? Had friends noticed? She needed to fix this now. But the solution? It's ridiculously simple. You just have to wash this one overlooked spot the right way. And once you do, The difference is immediate. Did you know about nonenal before today? Comment yes or no below. The overlooked spot where the odor hides. Sylvie thought she had done everything right. She scrubbed her armpits, used extra soap, and even switched to a stronger deodorant. Yet the next morning, as she reached for her sweater, that same faint, musty scent lingered. She felt frustrated. Was it her clothes, her sheets, or was it still her? Determined to find the answer, she tried something different. She grabbed a damp washcloth and wiped the back of her neck. What she saw shocked her. The cloth had a greasy, yellowish residue. That's when it hit her. She had been missing the real source of the problem all along. Most people assume body odor comes from sweaty areas like the armpits, feet, or groin, but with aging-related odor, that's not the case. The real trouble spot? The upper back and behind the neck. This area collects oxidized oils and dead skin, but it's rarely scrubbed properly. Skin folds, especially around the shoulders, under the arms, and along the spine, where natural oils accumulate unnoticed. Sylvie realized she had been washing all the wrong areas. She focused on what she could see, not where the problem actually was. Nonenal clings to the skin differently than sweat or dirt. That's why a simple rinse isn't enough. Here's what makes it worse. Aging skin produces different oils. The natural cleansing process slows down, making it easier for odor-causing oils to stick. The scent transfers to fabrics. Your pillowcases, shirt collars, and chairs absorb nonenal, so even if you shower, the odor can come back. Body heat intensifies the smell. The moment you sweat, it reacts with trapped nonenal, making the scent stronger. Why seniors struggle with it? Sylvie also realized this wasn't just about missing a spot, it was about physical limitations. It's harder to reach certain areas. As flexibility decreases, scrubbing the upper back becomes more difficult. Dry skin holds onto residue. Unlike sweat, which rinses off easily, nonenal sticks unless you actively remove it. If you don't clean these areas properly, the odor lingers. Even freshly washed clothes can hold onto the scent if the skin isn't properly cleansed. No wonder her usual routine wasn't working. She'd been washing everywhere except where it mattered most. But don't worry, fixing this is easy. You don't need fancy products, just the right technique. And once you try it, you'll notice the difference immediately. Be honest, when's the last time you really scrubbed your upper back and neck? Let me know below. Sylvie had spent years believing that a daily shower and fresh clothes were enough. She had never struggled with body odor before. So why now? After days of frustration, she realized something most people get completely wrong about hygiene as they age. It wasn't about showering more, it was about washing differently. She had been following the same routine for decades, but aging skin needs a new approach, and once she made a few small changes, the results were instant. The right way to wash. Most people do this wrong. Regular soap won't cut it. Most soaps aren't designed to break down nonenal, the compound causing the odor. Your hands aren't enough. Rubbing soap with your hands doesn't provide the friction needed to remove oxidized oils. Washing the wrong areas makes the problem worse. If you don't clean the right spots, the odor transfers to clothes, bedding, and furniture. So what actually works? Use a washcloth or exfoliating sponge. This removes the stubborn buildup trapped in aging skin. A loofah or textured washcloth makes a huge difference. Switch to a mild, acidic soap. Japanese persimmon soap is one of the few products known to neutralize non-enal. Regular soap only masks the smell. It doesn't eliminate it. Now wash the right areas, upper back and behind the neck, the number one zone for non-enal build-up. Behind the ears and along the hairline, easily overlooked but traps excess oil. Skin folds, shoulders, underarms and along the spine. Warm, enclosed spaces trap odor over time. Use warm water and a firm but gentle scrub. Too hot? It dries out the skin, making the problem worse. Too cold? It won't remove the buildup. Change pillowcases and towels often. Even if you wash correctly, fabrics can hold on to odor. Swap out pillowcases and bath towels every 2 to 3 days. Fix it from the inside. Hydration and antioxidant-rich foods, green tea, tomatoes and leafy greens help reduce non-enal production. For the first time in years, Sylvie felt fresher. She didn't notice that strange, waxy feeling on her skin anymore. Her clothes smelled clean longer, and she didn't feel the need to reapply perfume. But the real test? One day she hugged Juniper. Sylvie braced herself for another question. Nothing. No wrinkled nose, no awkward comment. Juniper just hugged her tighter. That's when Sylvie knew she had solved a problem that 99% of people don't even realize exists. Why this matters for every senior. Most people don't talk about this, but aging changes everything about hygiene. What worked at 30 won't work at 65. If you don't adapt, the issue only gets worse. But with the right method, you can stay fresh and confident at any age. And if you think this is the only hygiene mistake seniors make, wait until you hear the biggest skincare myth that's making people age faster. That's coming up soon. What's one hygiene trick you swear by? Share it in the comments. Aging changes everything, your skin, your energy, even the way your body smells. And yet, no one warns you about it. Most people assume that a subtle change in body odor is just part of getting older. But here's the truth. It's not about being unclean. It's not something you have to live with. And it's 100% fixable with the right approach. Sylvie spent weeks feeling self-conscious, wondering if others noticed what Juniper had. But when she finally took control, everything changed. She didn't just fix the problem, she gained something more important, confidence. I wasn't unclean, I just needed the right approach. With the right routine, Sylvie felt fresher than she had in years. No more worrying if others noticed an odd smell. No more layering on perfume or changing clothes multiple times a day. No more second-guessing herself every time she hugged her granddaughter. And that's the key lesson. Aging brings challenges, but with the right knowledge, you're still in control. You don't have to just accept changes that make you feel less like yourself. Your body is still yours. You can adapt, take charge, and feel confident at any age. What's one thing you do to feel your best as you age? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. Your experiences, your routines, your wisdom matters. You never know who might need to hear what's worked for you. Before you go, one more thing. If you think this is the only secret to staying fresh after 65, think again. There's an everyday habit that actually makes body odor worse as you age, and most people do it without even realizing it. That's coming up soon. Subscribe now so you don't miss it. And if this video helped you, share it with a friend, because no one should feel embarrassed about something that's completely fixable.